Of the rc10t build. Beautiful Saturday. Gonna go out racing today. Got the new body, got the new wheels on the B7. Gonna go out and have some fun. First things first, want to give a shout out to all the DRP guys down in Florida at the carpet championships. Man, I'd kill just for that nice weather right now. Who's down there? You got Pat Mack from the Trains and Lanes crew, comes down and race with us. He's doing pretty well. Jeff Stack, he's getting his shit together finally. It looks like he had a much better qualifier this morning. Still one to go. And probably the best one out of all of them, Braden Banshee, man. Banshee kicks my ass every week, and he's down there doing the same. I think he has TQ in 17.5 intermediate, two-wheeler. Kid's fast. Watch out for him. If Stack gets his stuff together, you're all in trouble too. But awesome just to be down there. That's awesome for those guys. But, all right, we're going to start working on this thing again. Let's do a quick recap. Let me take this down for a sec. Let's show you what we got from last week. So here we go. We got the Cliff Led edition here. The nice orange color here. It's almost like a pinkish red, though. It's hard to see. In person, it's a little bit lighter than it shows on camera. But we got some of the nice. We got the good on this one. Came with the factory titanium turnbuckles. It's the only reason I didn't change them. But we put RPM ends on both of the arms. Keep them suckers from popping off on us. We got a Jconcepts carbon fiber shock tower. We dyed everything black, which I did it again. I had to dye more parts so we can work today. And they came out really good. I came out really nice using that RIT dye. Jconcepts, I don't know what they call these things, but basically it's just a support tube. A lot nicer than the fancy ones. I mean, a lot nicer than the not-so-fancy ones that come with the kit. The kit ones are black. These are chrome and black. And then probably the coolest part that I'm really stoked about are these Jconcepts steering rack here. This thing is smooth. Dual ball bearing, top and bottom. There is no slop in this steering. I mean, a Slash would love to have this steering. This thing is nice. Corey, what's going on, brother? Long time no see. But yeah, this steering is nice. Only complaint I've had so far with this steering is that Jconcepts does not include the little bolts to go with it. So I had to make my own. Kind of a pain, but not so bad. Not so bad. This thing's coming out really nice. I got more parts dyed. I've got a whole pile over here, actually. And a couple more in there so we can work on it today. So far with that RIT dye, I haven't had any complaints. I did not use nearly as much as Haywire did. Haywire was talking about it because he dyed some parts, and he said that he had to use quite a bit to do it. A set of arms. I don't know if it's because these were never dyed. Maybe it just absorbs better or not, because it's supposed to look like this. These are horrible. I don't know why anybody would run that the way it is. But I didn't even use a whole bottle yet, and I've done all these parts up here, plus here, another set of arms. No problem. I still have probably a fifth of a bottle left, plus another bottle I bought, so I'll definitely have enough to finish the job. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Wait for a few people to show up. We'll get rocking and rolling and start getting it back together. All right. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Corey, I'm not bad. I'm going racing today. Everything's fine. Just been working. Hopefully everything's good for you up there. You guys are starting to get the cold weather already. We're cold now, so I mean, you guys are probably frozen already. So, all right. I'm going to take a look at the book here and find out what direction we're going to head today, because I got the front end is basically together. I think I got to start with that front bumper, and we'll start working our way back. Yeah, front body mounts got to go in. That's all in bag C, which I have right here. So let's find some screws. We'll start putting the body mounts together real quick. And then I'll change the view. We'll get rolling. Okay. So those are the rear mounts. We got to dye those later. So here's the hardware I'll be looking for. All right. So what I did with the RIT dye is basically the only things that I watched was I tried to get the heat around the same range. What you do is you bring it up, the water up to a boil, you put the dye in, then you bring it down to a simmer. It says it wants to be around 160 degrees. So what I did was I kept it anywhere at a minimum of 160 degrees. So I kept it around 170 to 180. I mean, yes, I don't have a fancy digital stove. I'm just using a little knob, but I use my heat gun from the nitro stuff, and I was able to keep it around 170 to 180. And then I watched the time. I put it in at a certain time, watched it, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and I mean, I can show you a little bit. It's hard to tell on this, but you can see here, there's a control arm. That's the bumper. You can see the shade. It's pretty much right on, depending on how you look at it. Granted, I am using black, so I mean, black's probably one of the easier ones to match, but you still got to match it. So, all right, let's see here. Here's our front body mount. Got these little rook-looking pieces. That's going to be your front body mount. Let's open up this bag and we'll get the screws. I'll change the angle once I find the screws. What are they? Just little button heads. It's probably these. Corey says, I'm okay, yes, but you guys got it worse. I'm +2 now. Not bad. 35.6. Nah, we're not even nowhere near that cold, brother. It's probably going to be in the 50s today. All right, let's get a good shot of this. Pardon my hand. All right, that'll work. Car's parked in my... I'm driving my brother's Outlander. Guy had more sets of tires for it than his RCs. Yeah, that'll get you around. A Challenger's not gonna, probably. My RS is all-wheel drive. I really don't have to worry too much about snow. It's actually kind of fun. All right, so this is gonna go through here. These just simply get mounted on the top. We still using goofy sizes? Absolutely. That's the only thing that's really gonna suck about this kit that I don't think they should have did. They should have made all the hardware just, you know, work. I don't really care about authenticity when it's a pain in my ass. There we go. It's just if you're actually going to race it, kind of makes it a pain because now I got to carry a couple extra tools, especially for this. And I don't want to do that. You just take the little rook piece, put the screw through. This is all it is. Very simple. Little body mount setup. But so far the kit, I really like it. Locked 4x4, can't wait. Yeah, man, the 4x4 is the way to do it. Even when I'll notice that is when I had my Ram, I never really used it that much. Okay, just gotta make sure the mounting holes for the pins are the way I want them. I think I'm gonna want them probably front to back because the hood has that scoop in the front. So I'm definitely gonna try for that. Corey sending off this package this week. He's taking a gem of my brother's and a few extras. I wouldn't be giving nothing away, man. No way. All right. There's our front body mount. It's basically, that's all it is. Throw it around a little bit first. That's all we got. There, it's going to mount right here to the front of this bulkhead right here. What screws are they using? 4x40, 3/8. It's using like a capped head. Four by 40. Those were quarters, so these are 3/8. So these are going to be bigger, I think. What do we have? 4 shorts. Those are longer ones. Those are the caps. Okay, so they're going to be these ones. The longer ones. Okay, 4x40. Yeah, we're going to get to put on some nice Jconcepts parts again today, definitely. Starting to get into the heavier end of things. We're going to probably end up getting to about the transmission today. That's what I think we're going to get to. I'm not going to probably be able to put it together because I still have to dye the housings, but we'll see how far we get. Okay. Nope, that's backwards. There we go. That looks right. What's everybody else up to? Is there anybody else? Only a couple people showed up so far. I changed my time, but it sucks because I go to the track at 1. So basically I come on for 2 hours and go right to the track. So this is the time I get to work with. Okay. I got too much I don't need, and he's the guy to appreciate those. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of shipping coming from Canada. I got to send something to Canada, so I'm going to see what that costs. Okay. There we go. Got to keep these oddballs. I'm going to have to put them in my kit. So there we go. We got our body mounts on. You can see that that black color matches pretty good. I mean, like I said, it was basically I kept it with heat, I kept it with time, and bam. Came out pretty good. The only one other thing I didn't like is I don't have a servo yet. I'm waiting for Black Friday. I'm hoping to catch a deal somewhere. Is I love that Team Associated logo on there. That looks so awesome. But if you see these 4 holes, that's where the servo goes and the mount. So if I put the servo here with the mount, it's going to cover up probably about 80% of that cool logo. So I mean, I wish they would have put it somewhere else. It does look awesome. Okay. Next thing is going to be the front bumper. All right, cool. Front bumper has got a cool AE logo on it. I like that a lot. I'm going to see if I can find this in dyeable because it will also fit the GT, the second version, the chassis that we're working on. I'm comparing a lot of parts because there's things I'd like to change on this. And looks like the body mounts are the same if you needed to. Like, they did change quite a bit of stuff. The tubes in the front, I'm going to change those, but this bumper will fit right on there, no problem. So now I have a replacement bumper number that we can definitely use. So let's get this thing figured out. Screws I'm going to need will be the beveled head, longer ones. And another thing, I'm probably going to get some of these, and I'm just going to keep them on the side. One thing I did not like with this kit, there's a lot of positive, but there is still some negative, is a lot of things are held together with a screw and a bolt. A screw and a nut. None of the nuts are nylock. They're all just open-ended nuts. So, I mean, if you're looking to just build something for a shelf queen, obviously, that ain't going to go anywhere. But if you're going to take it to the track and beat on it like I intend to, it could be an issue. But I'm going to get some of this size. I'm going to see if I can find these in a nylock. And then we'll just swap them out if I lose them. That's all. All right. Looks like they're not threaded, but the holes are a little bit tight, probably from when they painted it or whatever. I'm sure this is just paint. I'm sure they didn't powder coat this. Let's see. Corey says, I got 4.5 of them. It won't hurt. One won't hurt. All right. Hey, man, they're yours. Do what you want with them. I just don't be giving out too much stuff. Yeah, these are tight from the paint for sure. Because now once I'm through, ain't no thing. It's easy. So let's get these things through. Then I'll throw a little Loctite, I guess, on them. Give them, because you know the bumper's going to get used. Absolutely. 1/16 driver for these. Okay. Good thing I have these. If you didn't have these, you're kind of shit out of luck. There we go. All right, let's put a little Loctite on these. When I say a little, I mean obviously too much. Oh yeah, that second one definitely was too much. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Well, that's one thing I would change in the directions. I would put this on before I put... Oh, no, you can't. Let's say put it on before you put the body mount on, because you got to be a surgeon to get these nuts onto this thing. They do give you this convenient little AE wrench. I'll give them that. So I guess once you get them on, you can use that to tighten them up. It's thin. Oh, see, that's what I mean. Okay, put that down. Oof, this is a pain in the ass. I understand. My Craftsman wrench is gone. I understand. Was not around. That's something you would say. I got that Craftsman. It's around here. Don't you worry. She ain't going nowhere. But yeah, this is extremely tight. I hate Craftsman. Well, let me get it wrong. I said it wrong. I don't hate Craftsman, but you give me a Craftsman ratchet, I'll hand it right back to you. I hate those things. How many gears I've blown out of them frickin' things. All right. Well, there we go. We got our AE bumper on the front. Seems like the more black we put on this thing to tone down that chassis, it looks better. That thing looks, if anything, I would say a little bit too modern. You know what I mean? This is supposed to be an old school truck. Man, all these cool Jconcepts parts we put on this thing, it is definitely... Hey, thanks a lot, Corey. Thanks for the what's that, about $5 here? $5 hauler, man. I appreciate that. We'll definitely be using that for parts. We got to get ourselves a servo, a motor, and an ESC. Not sure what I want to do yet. I have to run a 17.5 because that's what they're running. I mean, it's a loose class. I can run what I want, but that's what we've all kind of come to the consensus of. But with that being said, I don't know if I'm going to upgrade my buggy to a Exalt motor and maybe a different ESC, and put the Tekin setup in here, or just buy something for this yet. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna figure that out later. But there we go. The front end, I would say that front end, except for the shocks, is pretty much done. The shocks. There's my question of the day. We only got a couple people in here, so I probably will be asking this until I do it. Is the shocks come with a couple of dyeable parts? Do I just keep it simple, dye them black, match everything in the front? Or do I try to match this orange, just to give it a little bit of color in the front? I don't know. It's totally going to be an experiment if I can get this to match this orange for sure. And I don't have any extra parts. So what I was thinking about doing is maybe just, I will not be using these. Maybe I'll get some dye and I'll dissect this into some squares and just do a small batch and just see if I can come close. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. No, it came up as $4.99. The Canadian dollar ain't worth that much little. Corey says, I got overpriced Snap-on and Mac tools. So do I, sir. I have probably a $14,000 toolbox out in the garage from Snap-on, and probably another 30 grand in just tools. And yeah, I'm out of that business. That's just mine. All right. So here we go. 20 minutes in, we've already got basically the front end together. So let's see. The next step would be to do the servo and the servo mount. Like I said, I don't have a servo yet. I'm waiting for Black Friday to see if I can cook a deal up. I know what I want, but got to find it. So next thing's going to be, we get to put on a couple of extra little parts here. What do we got? Bag D we're going to need. We're going to use 2 of those parts and then go right to bag E. Okay. Let's go. So we're going to put bag C away over here with the extras because we're still going to need that later. I got 30K toolbox. Classic 96. Yeah, I got an epic triple bank. With the stainless top with the dual, what's it called? With the outlets and stuff all in it. Yeah, mine's blue. I didn't get the hutch because I just didn't want it. All right. Let's get the box. Let's get the box. All right, bag D. Bag D, here we go. So, bag D is going to have 2 parts that we're going to use and some hardware. Then a bunch of parts we're not going to use. So, we got the front battery tray. I dyed that first round. That's usually that white color. Now it's black. And we got ourselves an antenna mount. How does that work? How does that work? Ah, goes on like that. Okay, just gotta, goes up here. It's gonna go into one of these holes. So I don't know if we're gonna do the antenna mount yet because I'm gonna see where I'm gonna lay it out. Because I'm probably, what I'm thinking is obviously the battery goes here. Where do they want to mount the ESC? Let's take a look. Let's go a little bit further in the future here and see where they have that planned. So the ESC is going to go in here. How is that possible? So that's where the battery's got to go. You figure, there's the front. You want to put the ESC back here? Where's the battery going to fit? That's not going to work. Let's see something. Unless it might. I don't know. Let me see something. Let's see here. Okay, here's your typical 4S, or sorry, 4S, holy shit, 2S battery. The ESC is supposed to go behind it. Let's take a look at this. I don't know, man. Don't give me much room. That don't seem right. What size ESC do they plan on you using? Receiver not included would go next to it. ESC would go behind it. So we need something with a pretty small platform, that's for sure. But yeah, that's their game plan right there, is battery would go dead center. That's the rear section there. So they want you to put the ESC in here. So probably, I would think you'd have to trim this out, or the ESC's got to fit underneath there. I know my Tekin one will absolutely fit in there. Plenty of room to fit that there. And then they would expect me to put my receiver here. So Spectrum ESC receiver will say will fit here. So we'll probably put it here. I think we'll put it in the middle. At least they give you some mounting options for sure. We put it there, we can mount it this way. Then that'll do it, and the antenna tube will be in the cab. Okay. We'll have to figure it out as we go. I don't know about all that though. That's crazy how they have that boxed off. So what, fit over the ESC? God forbid you have a fan on it or anything. Strange. I'm gonna have to check that out at the track today. Might need a better plan for that one. But all right, on with it anyway. All right, where are we at? Bag D. Okay, we got a bunch of hardware here. What do we need? Okay, basically 4x40 1/2-inch. Okay, we know what we need. 4x40 1/2-inch. Let's see, at least my laptop stays clean in the hutch, and I got all my pry bars and Milwaukee stuff clipped in. Yeah, I don't need a laptop. Like I said, I just do it. That's just for my personal use. I don't wrench anymore. I'm over that. I am looking to get back into autocross in the spring, though, so there will maybe some garage videos coming soon. I'm gonna build something or buy something and use what I have. I don't know. I got a couple of choices in there. I got my hill climb car. I got the RS. We got some toys in there. Okay, so we got 2 parts here we got to use, and then we can hit up some Jconcepts stuff. So let's see here. Not ready for you. That one's gonna go here and here. Small one again. All right, we'll get her started. Get the other one going. Oh, that'll be fun. JWS Smart 3708. What's going on, my man? YouTube is still putting at the @ sign, so if I don't get your name, you know, just update us on what you are, because, man, I'll tell you what, this @ whoever is really messing us all up. So, like I said, also, after you're done here, obviously, don't leave now, because we're having fun. We're going to get this battery tray. It's JWRC. See, there you go. I don't like this whole @ thing. But what I was saying is, after this live is, like I said, the carpet championships in Florida will be going on pretty much all day. I guess they're going to get the qualifying done today, so you have 2 rounds of qualifiers. I don't know if they're going to start the mains. Why is it coming out like that? I have no idea, but it's not just my live. It was everybody else is getting it too. So I don't know. It's just something that they changed. All right. There you go. See, every time we put a little bit more black on it to take away from how bright. Yeah, mains are tomorrow. Yeah, man, we got a couple of our guys down there, and one of them is absolutely killing it, guys. So everybody want to say a little bit of good luck. Braden Banshee's out there killing it today. Oh, okay. So we got to put it at one or the other. Oh. If you look on the chassis, you don't have as many options as you thought. You're going to have to put them in one of the beveled edges, because we got to put a chassis protector on here. So we actually only have 2 of those to choose from. So since I'm probably going to, if the ESC's got to go in the back, we'll probably put the receiver in towards the front up here, because I still have to mount, obviously, we got to put the servo in here, right here, covering that awesome decal. And I got to put a receiver in. The receiver I might mount right here, right in the front on this plastic piece. The MyLapse receiver transponder I think would fit beautifully right here, and it's as far front as possible. Then I'll just run the wire right here through the shock tower, down that tube, keep the wiring real nice and tidy and out of the way. I think that's the plan. So I'm probably going to put it to the front. Let's do that. And that should keep the antenna tube in the cab so it doesn't look goofy. Now that we got a few more people here, the question of the day is, the shocks have dyeable parts on them that I can dye a different color. Obviously, we've got the black down. I could do the black all day. I got that temperature and formula down pat. Now, with that being said, they have an orange. I could try to match this orange and just give it a little bit of a contrast. Do I take the risk and try it, or just do it black and play it safe? Brown in the back, yellow in the front. Nah, man. No pee-pee. Running, let's see. Yeah, they're running now, but I can catch them all day, so I decided to catch your live first. Yeah, man, appreciate that. Yeah, I was watching them this morning, and we have a couple of our guys down there. Pat Mac and Cheese is killing it. He's from Trains and Lanes, but he also races with us. Jeff Stacks did a fairly decent qualifier. I hope he gets his shit together. That guy is fast. And who else? Oh, Braden's down there. Braden, absolutely. I believe he's sitting TQ in 17.5 intermediate two-wheeler. That dude and his old man are good people, and they are fast. So I'm kind of stoked for him, man. I hope he wins. That'd be freaking awesome. Kid deserves it. He's really good. But it also makes me feel a little bit better because, I mean, he whoops on me every week. And so does Pat, and so does Stack. It's fun to see them actually have to work. You know, I'm not much of a, you know, I'm not much work. I'm with them for 2-3 laps, and then it's like, I'll see you later. But it's nice to, it makes you feel a little bit better when you see guys that, you know, whoop on you having to struggle a little bit, and you actually seeing them do well, because it makes maybe, you know what, maybe I don't suck so bad. You know what I mean? If I could keep up with them for a little while, I think that's progress. All right. The next thing would have been to put the support across here for the battery and the screws. Now, this comes with this. It's white plastic strap. That's all it has. A couple of screws. Same with the servo mounts. Just blocks. Basically the same thing as this thing uses, which is cool. Means I could probably use the same part after that. So once we get the servo, we'll worry about those mounts. But the strap, we ain't using that poverty strap. That strap's whack. We're not going to use that. Let's go get some parts. Show you what we're going to use. That one. That one. All right. Here we go. Some more Jconcepts goodies. If we're not going to be the fastest there, we're going to be the prettiest. We're going to go for that. First thing we bought is, I love the name for this thing. They called it the Madonna strap. And if you kind of look at it, I kind of get the idea, the name. Jconcepts accessory, rc10 carbon 2.5 millimeter battery brace in carbon fiber. We're going to match that shock tower up in the middle with the carbon fiber. Now they call this the Madonna brace, which I thought was pretty funny because look what this thing looks like. Oh yeah. Find these on the floor at the strip club all the time. That's what you see. Look at that. It looks like a pair of panties, don't it? And all that does is just lays on the top there, holds that battery down. Check that out. It's pretty funny. But also, you know, adding one accessory is fun. But, you know, you can add that little piece, you know, that little, you got to throw a little on there, you know, give it a little something, something. We're not going to use those. It'd be a tragedy to use this good-looking brace right here and just use those crappy screws. Why would we use just crappy screws? All right, what's Corey got to say? I would say just black. Okay. All right, we'll keep that into mind. That's cool, really. At least you get to try against some pros. Yeah, we DRP, we have some very fast guys there. If you can hang there, you can hang just about anywhere. And I'm not saying I can hang yet, but I'm trying. So, back to this. We're not going to use crappy screws on top of a piece of carbon fiber. That's whack. You know what I mean? That's like wearing a really nice suit and then throwing on an ugly pair of shoes. It's just not going to do it. So, Jconcepts sells these. Part number 5240-2. It's a quick release thumb screw. It's a nice little thumb screw with a stainless, looks like stainless, stud. So we're going to thread the studs in. Then we can put the nice Jconcepts screws on there. So let's start with that. Then we get to build some more aftermarket stuff. A suit with Crocs. Dude, I think anything with Crocs is a crime. I will not do that. I'm sorry. I can't rock the Croc. It's not going to happen. All right. Are these going to be in a weird size too? These are probably like a 1.5. Smaller. Holy jeez. 0.05. Okay. That's a nope for me. Yeah, man, I can't do it. All right. No Loctite on these, obviously. We're just going into plastic. But we want to check out what's the depth on these. So that way I can make sure we don't go too deep. Not very far. Okay. So we want them to be tight because I don't want to lose them. Like $12. So let's see. Huh. Looks like you would absolutely need them. So let's try it on one. Okay, I'm trying to get them so that the J's line up. So, about there. Try to get the other one as close. Probably ain't gonna happen, but we'll try it. Close, very close. Come on. Okay. So there we go. Not going to be too crazy about it, but I got the J's to match up. They're just upside down. I can work on it later if it bothers me. But look at that. There's our battery hold down for that side. Not bad. Looks pretty good. Matches the tops of the screws for the steering rack as well. So there we go. A little bit of custom. A little bit of custom. All right, Corey, I'll catch you later, man. I'll catch you later. All right, next thing we got to do is it's got us going, put this bag away too. Got us going into bag E. Now, bag E has one part that we're going to have to do a little bit of sidetracking from. Is if you look at it, here we go. Bag E shows the stub shaft. We will not be using dog bones in this thing. I am not popping a ball cup and then going out on the track looking for a dog bone. I'm not doing it. I refuse. I refuse. It's 2025. We ain't got to live like that. So we're going to have to build ourselves some CBDs. So let's go get those axles I picked up. Let's get it working on that. All right, from another manufacturer we all love, MIP. They have a re-release for the rc10t. They sell the CBDs. These things are awesome. I have a pair of these for the on the one XXXNT that I have, and believe it or not, because they did not re-release the XXXNT, those are expensive for you to find on eBay. Whereas these, 30 bucks. We're not going to complain. These are not bad. Nice labeled MIP CBDs, so at least you know you bought quality. We got no junk here, no Temu parts on this thing. And probably the coolest part, we got ourselves a sticker. We buy them for the stickers. Nice old school MIP logo. We're going to put that somewhere on there for sure. Then we got a new set of wheel nuts. It looks like we got different set of pins for the hub, I think. Yes. All right, cool. And then your basic CBDs. Now these are all fairly simple to install. Yeah, those got to be for the outside. Those are for the inside. There's your barrels. Okay, let's figure this out. MIP doesn't include any type of instructions, but basically these all go together the same. Support parts. Okay, so those are just extra parts. So from what I can tell is most likely these are going to be for your hub. Obviously those are wheel nuts. Then you have your barrels. And you have some screws. Okay, what size are these things? These are minute. Same thing again. 0.05. Tiny again. All right. So the way that these usually go together, you slide your barrel in. Make sure that the hole in the barrel is going towards the cutout in the axle, like so. Then the fun part. Is trying to get these together. It's always the fun part. Or is it these smaller ones? Those are a roll pin. It's going to be these smaller ones. Okay, where do the roll pins go? Have to figure that out. Let's check that out. This doesn't, well, this has the outdrive, so that would have to be how that works. Any idea on these roll pins? Right? Why I got that roll pins? Yeah, DOC, what's going on, brother? Yeah, Dwayne, smash that like button, peeps. It's free. Show support for the man. There you go. Okay, let's try to get this thing to fit. Okay. Once you have it through, now the fun part. Obviously, I'm going to use some Loctite on these. This thing comes flying apart. We're going to have problems. we go. Just like that. Boom. Nice and easy. You got all it does is you got a grub screw on one side that basically holds the pin in. That's it. That's all they do. Unless they're using these on the outside. That's probably it. Okay. So we're going to put those to the side because obviously I'm not putting wheels on this today. And you will lose these, guaranteed. And then I guess these are just extra parts. Complementary support parts. So I'm going to nicely cut the extra bag off. And we'll save these. Put them in the back. So if I lose something, we can fix them. Put that in that bag right there. That'll go with it. So what's everybody else got going on today? I'm going racing later after this live. We're going to go out to DRP, put in some laps, hopefully see if I can do any better. Got quite a bit different setup going on today. I moved the shocks around a little bit. We're going with a wide front tire instead of the thin. I just want to see what it does. Then once I figure out at least what it does, then I can make my changes. Go. These grub screws are small. One problem I see is if you lose those, you ain't finding them on no carpet. That's gone. End of conversation. Oh. Make sure your pin is centered. There we go. There we go. Got our CVDs built. So there we go. We're upgraded from the factory Team Associated. We're gonna go with a classic MIP CVDs in this thing. Okay, not bad. So far, I like the quality of these things. They look really nice. Nice machine steel. I did build a set of these for my B7. I don't know. I'd have to check maybe the length on these or if they even make them. But I put titanium ones in my B7, and my God, were they light. This thing is got some weight to it. So there you go. Do a little product plug here for MIP. Didn't pay for it. There you go. I had to pay for these. Maybe next time I won't. MIP. Good quality stuff. Selfless promotion. All right, let's see. JW says, we got rain today and tomorrow. The track change for our state race the next weekend. So going through the car this week. Yeah, man. Always be prepared. Always make sure you're over-prepared. Yeah. What are you running? The 8 scale still? Are you guys still outside? Obviously, due to rain, you're obviously outside. What buggy is? Are you running an 8 scale? Let's see. I can't wait to go try out some more 8 scale. Oh, what are we doing? All right. So now we need, looks like bag E. Okay. Let's find that box. Let's get bag E. The bag E baggie. I'm losing parts. Hang on. Roll pins, I said, do not lose. Almost lost. Wonderful. Yeah, seems like John from Nitro Addiction. He's been winning races, so I need to step my game up, man. I got to start getting out more. I can't be letting him win everything. All right, bag E is just a bunch of, whole lot of nothing. Okay, because we dyed most of it. So we can set this to the side. We're going to need hubs, 1 and 2. Now, are these a left and a right, or are they ambidextrous? Let's see. Looks like, yeah, there's no offset. No. Looks like they're going to be the same. Yep. Okay, so those are the same. So we need those. Says we got to get some bearings. Now with this, I'm sorry I cheaped out. I'm not putting any type of ceramic bearings or anything in it. This is just for fun. All right, those have pins, so we are going to need that bag. This class is a very, let me put it this way. There's some fast guys in that class, but it's not really, you know, it's a fun class. That's why I'm entering it, because I like the fun class. Something you can go out and have some fun. You don't have to be too crazy about it. Okay, and this is just a bag. All right, so it says I need 2 bearings per side, so we're going to need 4 bearings. Good math there. And there's supposed to be shims. 4 bearings. There's our shims. Okay, so it says 3 shims, so we need a total of 6. 1, 2, 'Come on, I don't want to spill the whole bag. There's way too much stuff in here. 3, 4. I need that anyway, probably. Yeah, I got to get a new motor for my, a new engine. I want to get a new engine set up for my 8 scale. Let's see what we got here. It's Joey Lowe. What's going on, brother? I think I've seen somebody else here. Where is it at? Joey Lowe, JW, MBX8R. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm still going to be running the, as far as I know, we'll see. I'm still going to be running the, my old 8.2. I don't believe that I run dirt enough to spend money on a fancier buggy, and I'm not really that good at it. So I think it'll do. It'll be all right. Okay, so now we got to load these hubs. Looks like 4 bearings. All right, well, this one's got to go onto the stub, so let's do that. I'm just going to put that right on. That'll make loading this a lot easier. Just like that. Just like that. Opna guy, what's going on, man? Corey said he's going to be sending you some stuff. I guess you got some stuff coming from Canada. Told him I don't want to see the shipping on that. All right, I'll throw some grease in these later. I figured with carpet, sometimes these exposed ones with grease, it just ends up a mess and it's not worth it. But we will. Okay, there's those roll pins that we were looking for. We can use those. 3 shims per side. Okay. Now, where did I put those? See, you already lost them. There we go. I don't expect these to want to stay. Yeah, there's no way those are going to stay. So here's what we're going to do with that. I'm going to take these shims back off. We're going to put them in the bag with the roll pin because I don't see how they expect those to stay put. They're obviously not going to. The only thing that holds them in, I mean, they are a roll pin. You would think they'd be tight. They're not. So I'm going to lose them. So until we put the back tires on, we're going to leave the shims off. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so then it says a ball stud. It's going to be going forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that one that side. And we're going to make that one that side. Reason for that is because then you can read the MIP. Yes, that's a little bit crazy, I understand, but that's what I want to do. So, what do we need? Ball stud, 30. Are they all the same? Yeah, they're all the same. Okay. So we got ourselves a 30 ball stud coming in. We're going to go into the front. They're going to put a nut on the back. So we're going to need 2 studs. And how we want them is 2 nuts. One nut. Oh, you bought it? Oh, hey man, I don't care about your business. You gave it to you, gave it to you. If you bought it, you bought it. Cool, man. Just take care of it. That's all. Got to work tonight, guys. Ready to fall asleep. Hey man, go get some sleep. I'm trying to think if I have any jamming parts. I have a beat-up jamming muffler. I think that's all I have for a jamming. All right. One thing I don't like about these ball cups that they're giving, the ball studs that they're giving you, is you have to use the small driver for them. They didn't put a hex end on them. 7 likes. Let's go. Yeah, it's okay. Gotta find the right size. Yeah, if the MIP logos were backwards, that would bother me. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that bothers me. So we got to make sure we use one for one side, one for the other. So there ain't nobody else going racing today? Nobody else is running nothing? There we go. It's Joey Lowe, man. There we go. Thanks for the help, brother. If everybody else can like and subscribe, if you're new here, most of you aren't, but subscribe to everybody else that's in here. Help everybody out. All right, we're gonna throw some Loctite on this. Again, all these nuts are not nylock, and I see that being a problem. Maybe not these because they're already threaded into the arm, but there's a lot of other spots that it's gonna be a problem. Okay, that's one side there. I'm gonna put our stud on the other side. They all go towards the front. This has a weird camber arm setup. I'll show you when we get to it. Now we're gonna have to make another decision today. I can't come up with a decision, so we're going to put it out to you guys in a little while. I like building these to my way, but I like input from others. I try to ask the wife what to do, and she's terrible at it. So we're gonna go to the group because we got some enthusiasts in here that probably have a pretty good ideas and perspective on things, where she's not. So there we go. MIP CBDs all set up inside the factory dyed black C-hub. All right, so we got, let's see where we're at. We're not putting that together. All right, I need the arms, which I have dyed. Now for the rear, the toe, I'm gonna go with the 0 toe. That's left, that's right. We're gonna go with the 0 toe. On carpet, it really does not help you to have a lot of toe in the car because usually it's not going to help with rotation. It doesn't do what you would normally think it would. So we're not going to worry about that. All right, so we're going to go with 0 toe. The kit comes with optional 1.5 degree and 3 degree. I dyed those as well. So at the track later on, if it's not, if it's something I want to change, we can change it. does come with that tool. All right, cool. These are the rear roller control arms. I dyed these with the front set, so these are absolutely going to match the front. So I guess the way it's going to go is the shock adjustment goes to the front. We're going to drop that in. It's going to use, all right, lovely. We get to play with some of those again. E-clips. We love our E-clips. So we're going to need pretty much everything but the axles out of this, I believe, and the out drives, because we upgraded that shit. Start getting this rear section together. Get it to at least a glider maybe today. Okay. So we're going to need our C-clips. We're going to need 4 of those. All right, I give up. Dump it out. Looks like everything in here we're going to need anyway, so that's okay. All right, cool. Put a little dab of grease on the E-clips and they'll never get away from you. What, while you're handling them? Yeah, I've done that trick before. I don't have any grease that I want to get on anything, so I'm not going to do that right away. I'm pretty good with the E-clips. I've gotten pretty good with them. So then this is going to go like this. All right, there's nothing else fancy about it. No, just E-clips, E-clips, no shims, no nothing. Okay. There we go. We just slide the pin right through. Probably would have dropped that frickin' shims in that wheel, what's it called? The part for the wheel, the axle thing 1,000 times by now. So I think keeping that out was the good idea. All right, now the fun part. These have a magnetic end on them, on these pliers, which is a blessing and a curse. Come on. There we go. Axle just falls out. All right, we'll spin it around a couple times. Just make sure it's seated. That's good. Yeah, a little bit of slop in those. Okay. There you go, one side. Let's do the other. There it is. Let's see, put a little dab of grease. Yeah, man. Yep. I already read that. We're good. Anybody else have any other tricks for these E-clips? I'm sure everybody's tried them. Like I usually do my first one, obviously. I'll put it into the groove. Drop it 3 times. I'll put it into the groove. And then I just push it in flat. Too early for this. These fingers are just not meant for this early. Oh my Lord. I'll get it eventually. Why am I having so much trouble with this today? We'll get it. Come on. Just wants to roll. All right. Let's put it on something a little bit more solid than the rubber mat. Nope. There it is. Spin it. We're good. All right. There we go. That, and sometimes if you put the edge level with the arm, I've noticed that kind of helps too. So that way the whole thing can just sit on top of the arm. And you can just kind of go like this real fast. Okay, here's number 2. All right, next move is, yay, more C-clips. Okay, we got to put the arms onto the blocks. Using the longer ones. So let's put some more clips on. Wives usually are bad at even understanding us and our addiction. Yeah. No, she understands. I'm mechanically inclined and I need to keep busy. And this keeps me busy. If I get bored, I get in trouble or I cause trouble, and that's when we have problems. There we go. Let's do the other one while we're at it. But yeah, like I said, I'm thinking about getting back into doing some autocrossing this year. So we might start doing some garage stuff. I might get a new car or buy a new daily and use what I have. There's a lot of work to get done on both. We can actually get out in the garage and do some big scale stuff. See if you guys like that. All right. I got a hill climb car. Not much, but gets the job done. Got a Focus RS that I use for autocross. That thing's a machine. I love that car. All right. So that's going to be the left side here. Got to make sure that these have a little indent on the top. Those have to go to the top because that's going to be, I guess, for the out drives in the transmission. It's got a little bit of a gap there, so that way it's not going to rub. Looks like they gave you 2 extra E-clips as well. I think so far. Here's the question for you, Team Associate. If you're willing to give me 2 extra E-clips, why can't we just eliminate them? That'd be nice. Let's come up with a better setup. There we go. It's one side. Let's get the right. One more. Oh, come on, you're the last one. Don't give me a hard time. There we go. See, that's why you try to spin it. You hear that last click? Center was not seated. There we go. Got our arms set up. God forbid they change too much stuff on their Ryries. Yeah, leave that up to me. I'll change most of it. All right, so let's grab this extra E-clip, and I'm gonna put that in the bag with the other one. I got a bunch of compartments I put in my hauler, so I'm gonna try to get at least some kind of a backup part supply for this thing. There we go. Okay, next step. Okay, we got the arms are together. We're gonna start putting them on. Okay, so it's going to be 8x32 1/2-inch. Look at these big guys with the beveled head. We 4 of those. Now it's saying to make sure to use the forward mount holes. So we're gonna make sure we got these things pushed forward. I don't know if this wheelbase, I guess the chassis are the same or similar to the buggy, so they use slightly different holes for things. All right, well, we're going into plastic, so we're not going to need this. So let's put this away before I spill it and make a hell of a mess. But here we go. Take our MIP sticker, keep it safe. Going to be the forward holes, so we got to do these ones. Okay. Well, first things first, what size are these? These are huge. Probably the purple one again. Yeah. I only got into RC almost 2 years ago, so I hear E-clips were a rite of passage, though. Yeah, you got to earn your ropes with the E-clips. Yeah, I've only been doing this about, I'd say about 2 years as well. I just got into it because, well, no, it had to be more than that. Probably about 3 years. You know, when the virus came around and everybody was locked up, you've probably heard this 1,000 times from other people as well. Basically, I couldn't race my car because you couldn't have a group of more than like 5 people. That's not a race. I mean, I'm sure you could do it. I mean, it could have probably been done. But they basically closed down the autocrossing. There was nothing to do. So, me and my buddies, you know, a bunch of criminals, you know, breaking the law out there, they would get together, and I guess they raced RC cars for a little bit, but I never got into it. Outside, you know, just having fun. Well, I needed something to do, and I seen them. They were racing a bunch of slashes and banging them up, and I didn't think RC... I remember RC cars when I was a kid, you know, like the ones I seen were like Tycos and stuff like that, you know, stuff you stuff double A's in. So, I mean, they were never really interesting to me because it wasn't very fast. When you have dirt bikes and quads, something that goes 10 miles an hour is really hard to keep your interest for long. I didn't know about the hobby grade stuff, you know what I mean? It wasn't really a thing that I was around. Then I seen that, and I mean, they were just, what's it called? I seen these cars, and they got these slashes doing 35, 40 mile an hour because they were modified, or they're the VXLs or whatever they call them. And I'm like, yo, that's pretty fun. And actually, it's kind of funny. One of the guys that was running there, me and him, we had our ins and outs a couple of times, you know. Never punched him in the face, but I thought about it a lot. And he was racing down there, and he took it super serious. Like, you know, y'all know that guy. Well, long story short, if I can go down there and disrupt his day, I was gonna. So I went out that day, and I bought myself a Slash 4x4 VXL. And we're friends now. You know, we all get along. Everything's great. But, yeah, that's how I got into it, just because I wanted to give him a bad day. Okay, cool. Yeah, now we're about 50 cars deep, so figure that out. Okay, there we go. We got our arms on the back now. We finally are starting to look like something. Check it out. That carbon fiber battery piece is pretty rad. And I love how those thumb screws match the steering rack. That really pulls it together. Rear arms with the MIP CVDs. Looks great. I think this kit's coming along quite well. Okay, well that bag is there. All right, let's see what's next. What do they want us to do next? Okay, looks like the rear bulkhead's got to go on. Okay, I got you. I got you. Rear bulkhead. This piece right here. I wonder what this hole's for. Maybe for running motor wires through or something? If not, I'm going to use it. I know that. Rear bulkhead goes there. That's going to also be 2 of those pan screws. Let's see, it says, JW says, yeah, I heard it almost killed RC. I don't know, man. I'm sure it killed the competitive end of it, but I'm sure it brought a lot of people into it. Like I said, I'm one of them. If it didn't happen, I probably wouldn't have gotten into this. I would have kept racing my full-size car, you know? But if you're a competitive person and they take the competition stuff away from you, trust me, you get freaking bored real quick. Time to get the honey-do list done. It's window cleaning time. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Joe, if you're still here, sorry, man, I didn't read that. But yeah, you better get on that before she gets on you. You don't want that. I got to take my air conditioning out of the one room. It doesn't have AC. I got to do that before I go to the track, so that'll take a few minutes. I like the design of the chassis. Yeah, man, it looks pretty cool. All right. So there we go. Rear bulkhead. Simple. These axles are a pain in the ass. How many times have they fallen off? Okay. So next is going to be a turnbuckle. Ah, we may have a problem here. I don't think I have enough turnbuckle ends. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, well, there's the rear body mounts. We can't do those yet because I have to dye them. So we'll put this over here for now. We're going to be a little short on them. Dang. Didn't notice that. Okay, so we're going to have to order some more of those. A-main. Here we come. I guess I'll just do one for now. That stinks. I don't think the track has any of these. That's going to suck. All right. That sucks. Well, that $5 donation from Corey, we know where that's going to go. That's going to get me the rest of the MIP ball cups that I'm going to need. All right, I put all the adjustments to the inside, so we're going to do that again. Well, wait, where's the stud go? All right, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's put that down for a second. Oh, don't do that. There's the studs. That's the only one. There's your axles again. All right, new axles are staying out for now. There's the other ones. Okay, so you got two studs, and it looks like it goes, it just threads into a lower hole here. It's got two holes for adjustments, but it's showing me it wants the lower one. All right. Yeah, goes behind it though. Strange. That's a strange setup. That goes behind the arm here. And then the ball stud goes to the front of the spindle. So you have, it goes in front of one and behind the other, instead of it being straight. Oh, come on. Should have had you put these on before you put the bulkhead on. There you go. I wonder what these are for then. Strange. They give you all, there's 8 holes here for other options, I think, but it doesn't show you using them. I don't get it. Okay. All right, cam buckles. Okay, go back to the cam buckle again. Yeah, right. It's supposed to go like that. All right. Well, none of these adjustments on here are going to work. Dog interior track. What? Let's see. I like the design of the chassis. JW says, "Oh yeah, I thought of racing full-size cars again, but at 54, if I took another hit, I'd be in a wheelchair or dead." Yeah, the autocross stuff you really don't have to worry too much about. I mean, yes, it can happen. You're still racing a car. It's about as safe as you're going to get. I mean, we do race at Pocono Raceway too. I mean, that's probably they're going to be your most hairiest one, because if it's in a public location, we cannot exceed highway speeds. So with the way that works is, like, let's say we're in a parking lot somewhere. If we're in a parking lot somewhere, we cannot go over 55. So if you're at 55, everybody knows 55 miles an hour, you lose control of the thing, you're going to catch it. It's not a problem. But with that being said, if you go to Pocono, game on, you know. But hill climb? No, hill climb, you can mess yourself up. It's a good time. All right, we're only going to be able to do one turnbuckle because I'm out of ends. That sucks. But that's okay. I got to put an A-main order in anyway soon. I'm not really too concerned about the alignment yet because, like I said, once I get the tires on, then I'll do that. Okay, because obviously that's probably going to be, yeah, that's trash. That's way too much. I put it on backwards. Hold on. Let me loosen it up anyway. But yeah, auto racing, that's my thing, but I don't know. After COVID, it kind of killed it for me for a while. Haven't done it in a couple of years. I raced figure 8. Well, yeah, well, then you're asking for it. I don't know what to tell you then. We have a circle track around us, and every now and then they do a figure 8 race. Those guys, that's no. That and the cost to entry for autocross is a little bit cheaper because you can use your stock car. You can use a daily if you wanted to. Put a set of tires on it and send it. Street class is actually a lot of fun, so, you know, I honestly, like I run Street Touring Unlimited. I was running Street Modified a little bit to get myself a good race with the RS. The RS is a really good car, and I got some really nice stuff on it. So it was hard to get a good race in Street what's it called? Street Touring. So I bumped it up to Mod anyway. Aspects, what's going on, my man? And I had a hard time getting a good race, so I put it in Street Mod to play with a friend of mine. Okay, what's the next part? What can we get to? Okay. Well, we can put one more part on at least. And then I'm going to ask my question. We're going to ask the question to the group and see what we can come up with, because it's going to be a big deal for me to make or break this build, honestly. Full NASCAR style cages, 80, 100 mile an hour through it. Yeah, you guys are crazy. Like, I never got into the oval track because one, it's John Miller. What's going on, brother? For you to do oval track up here, it's going to require a truck, a trailer, a car, obviously. For me to get to where it's at, it's in St. John's, is only towing. It's all uphill one way, of course. You're looking at about 45 minutes to an hour. It's not really a terrible trip. But you figure for you to tow that car there and back, gas block, we're not going to talk diesel, you probably got $40 in fuel. It's like 50, 60 bucks to enter. And if you win for the night, you might win $200. So if you could get out of there with a car that's clean, your best bet is to break even. You know what I mean? If somebody gets into you and tears you up, best of luck. It looks like a world of fun, though. It's just I never had the opportunity, but you never know. See, I don't mind this because I think once I put that battery away. Once I put the battery in, it's probably never coming out. I'm going to charge everything right from inside the car, even though they tell you shouldn't. You know, we don't listen. Let's put these nuts on the end here. Maybe that'll keep me from flinging these CVDs around. There we go. All right, we can put one more part on, and then it says I got to do the rear body mounts, which I didn't dye yet, so that's out. And I think we're about there. Then we can just figure out what we're going to do with that one part. Like I said, I have the question to ask. And then that's it. All right, one more part. One more part. Been in here for an hour and a half. I think this thing's coming along pretty well. Let's grab that last piece. Last piece is going to be a Jconcepts carbon fiber rear shock tower to match the front. Is it just me, or is it the chat box a lot smaller too, talking about changes with our names that YouTube decided to do? I'm using the studio app, so on that side of, I don't know. It didn't change to me, but I don't believe it did. I didn't notice anything. But maybe now that you said it, maybe I will notice. I don't know. I can't say. All right, there we go. It's got a pretty cool looking rear shock tower. Let's see here. I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot with it. Let's see what we can do. We can mount the shock mounts and put the piece on itself. Yeah, that's pretty much what we can do. I cannot mount the body mounts due to the fact that I didn't dye them yet. So that'll be next. And that's that. I got to do the shock parts. All right, so it says here, it's going to be shorter ones. 4 of them. Probably these guys. I don't know if I like... Oh, no, because it's about the same thickness as the stock one, so it should work. How much meat hangs out of these? Not a lot. And then again, it's not a very thick thing. Okay, I'll run with it. Whenever you're using aftermarket parts, sometimes you got to watch because they'll run different thicknesses and stuff, and then your bolts don't have enough meat inside the next part, and then you're screwed. One thing that's kind of nice is it came with the springs for you to put inside the C-cups. So that way your dog bones don't have a lot of slack in them. But I don't think I'm going to need those now. Okay. So let's spin this around. Try to get one started. So what do you think? Back in the day when this thing was actually would have been like high tech. This was top of the line here. Do you think whatever they do, do you think they'd ever had, well, back in the day it would have been carbon, or graphite. Do you think the carbon fiber probably would have blew their mind? Like, I don't even think, like, this is supposed to be back from what, 91? I don't even think supercars were using carbon fiber yet. Often the guy says you could build your shocks. Yes, but no, because there's also parts that need to be dyed on that. That was the other question that I had. Was, now there's a few extras here. JW, I believe, already spoke up about it. On these shocks, there's like the adjustment collar. Here, I can show you on these shocks. Totally different car. But you can see here you have an well, these are C-cups. Let me show you the rear. The rears have them. They have these adjustment collars right here. It has the lower, I guess, eyelet stud, the shock end, and the lower spring, I don't know what you call that, spring seat. We'll go with that. Those are all dyeable. Should I just do them black and match everything else, which is fine? Or should I attempt to try to match this orange? Just to give it a little bit of a different look, just to set it off a little bit. I was thinking about it, but I mean, it's going to require me a little bit of mad scientist work upstairs, because I know it's not going to just, I'm not going to be able to just get straight up orange and match this, because it's not straight up orange. It's like a red. So I may have to put a little bit of red dye with some orange dye and tinker with my formula to make it work. It's a lot of work. That's what I'm saying. Man, this looks good. There we go. Shock tower mounted. Check out that shock tower. Got the carbon fiber front, carbon fiber in the rear, carbon fiber in the center. That's what I like to do. Everything's got to have a rhythm to it. Everything's got to match. That looks really awesome. But I'll tell you what, this thing, as far as a retro look, I think I screwed that up. That's out. We got carbon fiber like a Ferrari on this thing. On something that's supposed to be made to look like something from 1991. I don't know if, oh, go with the orange. Often the guy says orange. Time to watch a build of a car I'll probably never buy. Why not? Like I said, I bought this off eBay. I paid $300 for it. I bought the classic kit, and they sent me the upgraded 3-gear kit. This is originally, I think, $430. I got it for $300 off eBay. They had more. If you try to match the tub and get it wrong, can you still dye it black, or do you need new parts to dye? I'm sure I could get them back to black, because it's like if you start with white you could go either way, but like you can't go black to white, you can't go black to orange, but I could probably go orange. And if it's a abort mission, I could probably get it to black. I'm not into the vintage stuff yet. Yeah, but I mean, HCX, if you look at this, man, it's not really that vintage anymore. I mean, it's got, the bell cranks are beautiful. This is something that you would, like, look at these. There is no slop whatsoever, up, down, left, or right. The RPM ball cups are going to do their job as best they can. Carbon fiber shock towers. Those are titanium rod ends that came with the kit. Carbon fiber, little Madonna bikini there. That looks pretty cool. Carbon fiber shock towers. There's really not a lot of vintage in this. Trust me, this thing is not going to be as horrible, I hope, as a vintage could be. Do you know what I'm saying? I think this is going to be quite a bit better. And by looking at it from doing other kits, I'm sure there's other... You can make this a lot fancier if you want to. Okay. So let's put these shock screws in. Same thing with these. Like, see, like this, I think would be a great addition. Is you look at these shock mounts. These upper shock mounts, all it is just a black steel screw and a nut. That's all it is. If you can get the shock caps to work, I would rather get like a titanium screw, because why the hell not? And then Jconcepts actually sells for the B7. It's a whole stand that has the ball and everything for the shock, and it threads right on. They look really nice. Are you going to shave any weight from them? From what I found, no. Do they look cool? Yep. So definitely worth it. So, like, that's an option you can upgrade. What else? There's a couple small things you could probably use from more modern stuff to make this better, obviously. All right. And the screw holes are going to go forward on this. It's showing them at the very top. Like that. All right. Throw just a dab on there. Probably won't help. There we go. Yeah, we'll be at the track. I'd like to. Are your plans to race this? Absolutely. That's why I bought it. The vintage class, believe it or not, is picked up pretty good. There's about 5 guys that run it every single week. And I mean, it's really cool to see because they put a lot of time into them. They look really cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just something you don't see. But I mean, they're also using, you know, a modern style motors and ESCs and stuff like that. There's that screw, but I was able to follow it. All right. So they actually run pretty damn good. Like, it's not, you know, not everybody's not broken every lap. There's not ball cups flying off. You got some decent drivers, some pretty good drivers actually. So they're using more modern tires. So it's actually really, really, really fun to watch because it's got that old school look to it, but they don't suck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it looks cool, you got that. But I mean, if it still sucks to race, like my Mini B, that thing sucks to race. You don't want to race that. Keep that. Is that a 5? No, what do we use on that? We'll use this guy, and we'll just tighten him up. Like that. Hope the Loctite does its job. There we go. Oh, we did screw up. We screwed up. Hold on. Screwed up. Going too quick. There it is. There is a washer between those. Probably wouldn't do a thing, but at least I noticed it. Yeah, HCX, if you'd never built a kit, man, it's fun. Like, even something simple, like you don't have to do an associated kit or anything fancy. Just buy a Traxxas Slash as a kit, I'm telling you. Watch my videos. I have a couple of good ones on there. If you actually want to go out and race it, there's some tricks to racing stock Slash. The word stock is fictitious because they They are stock, but they are modified, if you know what I'm saying. Like mine is not out of the box. If you race one out of the box against mine, you will lose, my friend. Okay. HPI Savage, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Just putting on some real fancy parts onto a real old school truck. But yeah, first time out racing with this thing. I'm sure we're going to do terrible. I'm sure it's going to be a mess until I can get used to it. But we'll record that. We'll have some fun with it. I'm sure they're going to beat my doors in because they know I took my time to make it pretty. But they have doors too. That's all I'm saying. Don't you worry. Nice. Okay. There we go. Can I go any further? Okay. I'm up to the shocks now. I'm not going to be able to go any further because I do not have any of the shock parts dyed. I'm going to have to pull them apart. I also cannot go any further because I have to... Okay, the body mounts I have to dye. I have to dye the shock parts. So I'm pretty much stuck right now. That's where we're going to be. About, what are we into it? A little over an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. But what do you think? I think this thing's coming out pretty sick. But just a quick one over it. We got the titanium that came with it for the rod ends. RPM ball studs. Carbon fiber Jconcepts strut tower. We got the aluminum bell cranks, which like I said, other than them not coming with the bolts, are fan-frickin-tastic. I love them. Everything that was factory, we dyed black, just nice and simple. You see that? There's that washer I was looking for. Jconcepts battery hold down. Rear shock tower. Everything's black. MIP CVDs in it. But that's where we're at this week. Off the guy saying hi to HPI. HPI, I'm planning to get another solid axle truck or another LMT. Yeah, man, that's something I'd like to add. Those things are sweet. That TLR tuned one is really nice. HPI said the rc10t is looking good. Thanks, man. Let's see. HTX says, I know nothing about racing. Is there a learning curve to drive something like you're building compared to a current car? I'm sure there is. Every car is different, so I'm sure there's going to be some sort of a learning curve. I'm used to racing like the Slash, which would be considered a short course truck. I'm used to them a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, there's going to be a learning curve, of course. I mean, it's going to handle a lot different. The biggest thing is you got a lot of rubber on these cars. A lot of rubber. I was just working on my FMS RTR truck. Nice. Okay, question we have here is, like I said, I decided to do this build as a live because I thought it'd be fun to involve everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, the parts that are on here I chose, but I like asking questions. Now, we said about the shocks. All right, let's look up. I said about the shocks. Should I try to match the orange? I mean, I have, let's say, like these. These shock towers I will never use. They're made out of that same plastic. They dye exactly the same. So I could cut little sections of this apart. I don't care about this. I could cut little sections off of it and test it as I go to see if I can get close to this orange. So I do not have to waste the parts. Second is paint job. Here we go. Now, I wanted to do something similar to box stock, but I changed some stuff on here. So I don't think the box art is 100% what I want to do. Just clean it up a little bit here while we talk about this. Let me show you the box art. Where is it? There it is. I want to have it close, but I'm not going to get too crazy with it. I believe the shock towers are fiberglass. Yes, but it's made to be dyeable. As long as I have the dye the same, I think I should be okay. Or I have plan B. This will be probably a little bit easier, honestly. Same white plastic. I did not use the factory ball cups that could be dyed. So I could probably grab like a Traxxas turnbuckle or something and just thread one on and boop, drop it in. I mean, I have other I have all the steering parts. I have other white plastic if those don't work. Okay, here's the box art. Let's get a good look at it. If you look at this one, it's got the Team Moo graphics on the front. I dig that. I'm going to use it. Then it has like a red-orange, which Traxxas makes a color that will match that pretty much right on. I've used before. But see the blue in the black, the blue in the back. The blue in the back, I don't have anything blue on this, and I don't think they really did either, but I'm not digging the blue. Everybody's ever seen my other buggies. I kind of like a darker buggy. Like I did a black and a blue. My buggy now is green and white. Go figure. Yeah, HPI, you're probably right on that. They do have a different texture. But see, I get sidetracked. All right, so you have the blue in the back. So what I was going to do was do black. Go black in the back to match all the black that we've already dyed. I'm going to do orange in the center, exactly like that. And then I'm going to do white in the front. And the black sections are decals. It comes with that. So I don't have to do anything with that. Question is, what color wheels? Do we stick with... I'm not using the skinnies and I'm not using those wheels. I'll show you the wheels in a second. Do we go with the white wheel, which would have matched because of the white front end and a lot of the white parts? Or I have option B. Let me show you. Ow! Ow! That hurt. Stepped on a savage. Okay, the wheels I'm going to be using, that hurt. He's laughing at me? That hurt. I stepped right on my Savage SS. All right, let's see here what it says here. JW says, if you can find a dye that says burnt orange, it might be close and maybe only have to add red. Okay, gotcha. Well, I think they have an orange, but it's more of like an actual orange. So I'd have to add a little bit of red to it, but I mean, I've never done it before, so it's going to be a try it. The only thing that sucks is like for me to get that black color completely like that, it took 20 minutes. So I'm going to have to throw one in for 20 minutes or check it every 5 because it's going to take it 5 to 10 minutes to take color regardless. I'm going to have to pull it, take a look at it, see if I like it or not. I could put it in longer or add more to it. I got to basically get a formula down. I have a yellow wheel. I bought these for the other one, but they come with packs of 4, so I have 2 sets of yellow. I also have the white. So what do we do? Do we do white wheels with that color scheme? Or do we go with the yellow? I mean, the yellow really doesn't match much, but it does stand out like a sore thumb. So, I mean, this thing's kind of bright. So, I mean, it kind of adds to the bam, you know what I mean? What do you think? JW says, definitely white wheels for me. Okay. What do you think? We got others in here. White is faster. Nah, dude. Green is faster. Okay. Come on, we got others in this group. What do we want to do? We got to go with the white wheel or yellow because I'm probably going to start gluing these up soon. Maybe tonight when I get home, depending on what time I get home. I'll show you my buggy before we leave. You see what I mean, man? That buggy looks good. She looks good, man. It's probably a good time to show everybody because it's going to go out racing today, so it's not going to be as nice by the end of the day. I can guarantee it. Now, HPI says yellow. HTX says white. So we're 2 for 1. Going for white so far. What do we think? Often the guy says white. 3 to 1. Is HPI going to be the odd man out here or what? What we got? I would get yelled at. I would get yelled at my something for using green. No, man, the green looks cool. The green looks cool. All right. So far we're at white. By my RD. Okay. All right. So I think we're gonna go with the white. If they look ugly, I just kept all your names. We're gonna blame you because I gotta buy another set of tires. Who knows? knows? Maybe I'll buy another set of tires today at the track. I'll buy a set of fronts and rears, and we'll just do a set of both. And if I don't like one set, I'll run those first. Then we'll just run the rest. But yeah, I got the Jconcepts. These are... That's the fronts, that's the rears. The Pioneer wheels, they got that kind of spoked look to them. Kind of neat looking. So, all right. Well, I guess we're going to go with white. If anybody, if it looks like ass, I am going to blame... Let's see, Offna guy, HTX is going to get it. JW is going to get it. All Aspects is going to get it just because. Just because. But, all right, let me put those away. I want to show you my buggy. We changed the look up quite a bit. All right, Jconcepts box is getting smaller. I'm going to need more of those freaking RPM ends. That's all right. Then we'll have spares. All right, let's check out my buggy. Let's put that away. Paint job's not perfect, but I think for me it came out pretty well. I didn't vote. Yep, you didn't vote. You get I'm lumping you in with the group, my man. Sorry. Look at this. Nice, simple paint job. But look at them green wheels. Oh man, this thing looks killer. I love it. Gotta love them green wheels. And check out the body. Check out the body. That's the old school Jconcepts body. It's got the cab back design. This thing looks awesome. I say about tinting the windows, but the inside looks nice anyway. But yeah, this thing came out killer. I love it. My paint guy was busy, so I did my best, and I think it came out okay. Cool color. That's a Spastics paint on the green, and the white is just tracks, or that's a Tamiya color. Go. Zip her up. We get ready to go after this. Okay, looks good. All right, cool, man. All right, well, I guess that's going to be it for this week. I'll hang out for about 5 more minutes. Anybody got anything you want to talk about? Anybody getting anything good for Black Friday? What are you looking for? Maybe we can all work together. Look out for stuff. I need a Protect servo for the rc10t. That's what I'm looking for. I want a good deal on a Protect servo. High, probably going to be a high speed or a high torque. That's fine. Aluminum case. I'd like that one with the silver edging like I have in my B7. Damn it. I should have stuck with that paint job. Mine is a little messed up on my LMT. Yeah. Well, this is the old body. This thing got demolished. So, yeah, this thing's hitting the retirement pile. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We're just going to hang it up somewhere. Friggin', one of the guys at the track, his son was using it, and he was definitely not ready to be racing in that buggy class. He flipped me into a wall and basically broke the nose right off the thing. Really sucks. Really sucks when that happens. I mean, we all have to start somewhere, but please start somewhere else. That's too much money to be banging into it. But, all right. Not a bad day. I think the rc10t is coming along pretty good. I'm going to dye some more parts. Next week's going to be fun. We're going to do the shocks. I'm probably going to have to do the transmission cases. We'll get into the transmission and get that all together. We could probably get the, I'll try to get the wheels and tires. Yeah, the black one. We're going to try to get the wheels and tires. I'll try to get those glued up throughout the week. And we can have this thing sitting as a roller hopefully by next week. I got to order those RPM ball studs. I got to get those right away. I'm going to order them as soon as I get off here. But the TLR LMT is a 15-inch wheelbase truck close to a Savage XL. Oh, the straight axle LMTs, man, those are cool looking. What did TLR change on that? Because I know like some of the stuff they really get into and some of the stuff they really don't. Because I have like the TLR tune Typhon, and there's a lot of different stuff on that than a regular one. Yeah, the ProTech Black. I forget the number. I have the same one in my my B7. That thing works fantastic. I really do like that one. But, all right. Well, that's going to be it for this week. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to get my shit ready. I'm going to the track. Hopefully I don't break nothing. Get me a pizza. Hopefully we'll crack off a little bit faster times this week. I was able to chop off 0.2 last time all week. Pretty much carbon fiber chassis. Then the LMT 1.0. Take care all. Stay safe out there. Burn all your nitro. There you go, Offna guy. I still got all my nitro. It's a little cold out. I'm going indoors where it's nice and warm. I'm good. Oh, so it's kind of funny. The TLR LMT has a carbon fiber chassis. So does my Savage. That's pretty sweet. All right, bud. Good luck. Thank you. I appreciate that. Peace, all aspects. Have a good one out there. Send me some barbecue, man. Hungry. Other than that, everybody, I'll catch you all next week. I got to get these parts dyed. We'll hit this up one more time. Probably have it up to a roller. I got it, as long as I can get those ball studs in time. But, all right, everybody. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.